Okay, good morning, everybody. It is August 24th, 2020. We are starting with math as usual. Make sure you have your classwork book and a pencil. You're going to see me doing my work in pen, but that's only so that you can see it easier on the instructional video. So today we are going to page 37. You will observe that we are going to start our nines this week, okay? So your assignments for today ask you to study page 37 and study also page 41. If you've been paying attention to kind of our routines, you probably already realize that we will be doing this in today's Zoom class, okay? So if you want to go ahead and start practicing this on your own, that is excellent, but this is what I'm reserving for class today. And the other thing I really want to emphasize to you guys is no one should be stressing themselves out about already having these memorized. What we are doing right now is we are learning the process of multiplication and division, the hows, the whys, okay? So we are learning how to do the twos, we've learned how to do the fives, we've learned how to do the tens, now we're learning the nines, all right? And again, we are just focusing on how do we get to these answers, not, oh my gosh, I should have it memorized already. No, we'll work on that memorization piece as we get going through the school year, okay? So you're studying page 37, you're studying page 41, and you can use those informational pages to help you with completing page 43. So 43 says just what I just mentioned that we have been learning, which is our twos, fives, nines, and tens. Your word problems today are going to revolve around those. It says make sense of problems with twos, fives, nines, and tens. Write an equation to represent each problem and then solve the problem. And so there's two parts, right? We're going to write the equation and then we're going to solve the problem. So number one says Ian planted tulip bulbs in an array with 5 rows and 10 columns. How many bulbs did he plant? So I know that if I have an array with 5 rows and 10 columns, then my equation, I already know that. So some of you guys might be like, I don't need a picture. And I believe you. Okay, I'm just going to say that. I believe you don't need a picture. But our directions do tell us to draw the picture. So we're going to draw it. But we know easily that this means 5 times 10. And I know easily that 5 times 10 is 50 because I know how to skip count by my tens, right? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So my product is 50. My factors are 5 and 10 using our vocabulary. Now, what would the array look like? Because it does give us a specific as to what number, or rather what factor goes with rows and what factor goes with columns. So we'd really draw that, right? Our rows go across. They go from right to left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our columns are the ones that go this direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you just do the same thing until you have how many dots? 50. All right, so you guys get the point. All right, so you're going to do that. Go ahead and finish out your entire array for each problem because the directions do say that we have to draw a picture. Sorry, guys. But in the end, your array for this one will look like something like this. You're going to finish that box for me. Okay, do 2 through 6 on your own. All right, then we are just like normal coming over to our homework and remembering page. You're only doing one page out of this. It's page 26. No, actually that's wrong. I assigned 26. I believe I assigned 26 and 28. Let me see real quick. Hold on. Because I want to make sure I give you guys exactly what you need as far as your instructional video goes. So let's see, math, which is due tomorrow, which one of our students has already done his assignments. Yay! All right, yeah, it's just page 26. Okay, so, and we remember that on this side of the page, remember it's going to integrate many different skills. It's going to spiral your review. So on this page, it says writing multiplication equation and a division equation for each problem and then solve the problem. So really you have three steps here. You have to write a multiplication equation, a division equation, and then solve. All right, so it says Tara folds 25 sweaters. She puts the same number of sweaters in each pile, so that's going to be division. We're putting them in separate piles, equal piles, and there are 5 piles, so I can really stop right there. I know that I'm going to do 25 divided by 5. Now, does it say to draw a picture? You actually don't have to draw a picture. So I know that 25 divided by 5 equals, okay, and if I don't know the answer to that, then I can say, all right, I know that what number times 5 equals 25? All right, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oops, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So I know that 5 times 5 equals 25. Therefore, 25 divided by 5 equals 5. So my answer, how many sweaters are in each pile, is with my label 5 sweaters. Okay, so you're going to do number 2. Numbers 3 through 8, of course, you are either multiplying if you see a dot, an X, or an asterisk, which is a star. And you're dividing if you see your bracket, your division symbol, or your fraction symbol. Okay? So basically, I'm asking myself 5 times what equals 45. That's what you're learning today. You're learning this one today. But if I don't know it, then of course I just skip count. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So 5 times 9 is the missing factor. Okay, 9, 10, 11, you have some word problems. Number 9 says the books were put in 5 equal rows on display. There were 45 books. How many are in each row? So your hint here is you're doing division. Okay? All right, so that's it for math. Now we are going on to reading. I have posted a picture of the page in which you are reading from. The pages, rather, you're going to read 2 pages. We are starting a new story this week. Every week we'll start a new story. So for reading, you're going to go to your textbook. You're turning to page 80 and 81, and these are the 2 pages you're reading. Let's go ahead and go over the vocabulary together. I will say the word. You need to say it after me. Passion, admire, concentrate, splendid, bothering, ached. Now, I want you to think about one of these words. How can I integrate one of these words into my writing piece? Remember, we're writing about something that excites me in writing. So think about, as you learn these vocabulary words, how can I put this in my writing piece for last week and this week? So you will read these 2 pages. You'll be focusing in on your new vocabulary words. And then you will be completing reading practice workbook pages 46 through 48. So your practice workbook for reading is here. And we are turning to page 46. All right, so 46 is going to be going over your spelling skill for this week, which is the letter pattern A, O, A, or O, W. Both will make a long O sound, okay? So let's read this together. Here are several spelling patterns that stand for the long O sound. And we know when we have a long vowel, we hear the letter. The letters O, A stand for the long O sound. O, T, coat. O, A, long O. The letters O, W stand for the long O sound. R, O, O, row. When the letter O comes before the letters LD, the letter stands also for a long O. So that's kind of confusing because there's no silent E and it's not followed by a vowel, but those are the rules, okay? So here's your spelling words. You're filling in OA or OW. It says, fill in the missing letter or letters so the following words have the long O sound. Check the rules above if you have questions. So, soak, soak, snow. Every sound is going to be an O sound that you fill in. So it's just figuring out which letter pattern, right? So snow is with the W. All right, blow is same as snow. It's an O-W. Now, if we come down to number 5, there's only one letter choice to fill in anyways, so it's going to be an O. All right, so you all need to finish from there. And that, of course, is gold. All right, 47, you're going to be using the information from your reading textbook to help fill in your vocabulary words. Now, if you are still confused about the meaning of the vocabulary word, when you read pages, I think it was 46, then you may go to the glossary. It's in the back of your textbook. The glossary is like a mini dictionary, you guys. So go where you see the blue bolded corners in the back of your textbook. This is called the glossary. If you don't know what a glossary is, it's written out here. You can read it. But let's say I'm not sure what passion means, so I'm going to come to my glossary and I'm going to go to the P's. They're in alphabetical order, and I'm looking up the word passion. A very strong feeling or liking for something. Love is a passion, and so is anger. Okay, so you're going to find where that would fit in. A person who has a strong feeling has passion. Okay, and then I'm going to cross that off. Now, your last page is you're comparing and contrasting, figuring out when you compare how things are alike, and when you contrast, you're figuring out how things are different. So you'll read this paragraph and you're going to tell me how Sally and Mike are alike. You're going to read that paragraph, you're going to tell me how they're different. If you want to, use 2 different color crayons or highlighters if you have 2 different color highlighters at home. Okay, and then 20 minutes on Raz Kids, please, after you are done that assignment. Your next assignment is writing. And with writing, you are doing your next 2 paragraphs in your writing assignment. So I believe we've already done we did paragraph 2. Yes, so we are working on paragraphs 3 and 4. And I definitely don't remember because it's been almost a week. So I need to go back. Okay, I'm writing about hiking and how that excites me. I'm thinking about, we had a great conversation last week on our SEL day, our Social Emotional Wednesday, and there was a word in there that I wanted to add. It was ecstatic. Remember ecstatic? Okay, so I'm going to try to merge that word into my paper as well. So actually, there's a vocabulary I want to use. It was ecstatic. Okay. All right, so what excites me and why? I'm writing about spending time with my dogs when I hike. So that's my next sentence. All right. Next paragraph, rather. Next. I am ecstatic when I am hiking because I get to spend time with my dogs. They always come with me on. Now I'm going to let me finish that sentence actually. My adventures outdoors. All right, I'm going to stop here real quick because I need to add my dots again. So every other line, just to help me remember that I'm skipping lines with my writing. Okay. All right, so now let me remind myself where I was with this. Next, I'm ecstatic when I'm hiking because I get to spend time with my dogs. They always come with me on my adventures outdoors. With my dogs, I am always happy on the hiking trails. Okay, that was paragraph 3. We need to also do 4 because we lost 2 days last week, so we have to kind of double up a little bit. So I also am going to finish my paragraph 4, which is hiking excites me because I get to meet new people. Now, all right, so now I also wanted to use a word from my vocabulary with reading. So now I'm going to write next, then, comma. Hiking excites me because I can meet new people. Whenever I am hiking, I talk to other hikers. Oh, I figured out a way I can use one of our vocabulary words from today. Okay. We all share the same passion of hiking, so we have a lot to talk about. Yay! Okay, so I used the word passion, which was my vocabulary word, right? Okay, final step is you may remember you need to go ahead and you need to highlight the paragraph the same, so it's color coded the same way that your pre-writing graphic organizer is. All right, so details 3 and 4 are spending time with my dogs and meeting new people, and they need to be in yellow. And you did have a highlighter in your bag, so you should go ahead and use that highlighter and make new brackets every time there's a new paragraph. Okay. All right, so now all we have to do is our closing paragraph tomorrow. Good job with writing. Excellent. Okay, with language arts, you are watching your video, and then you are also completing a workbook page. Let me see if I can figure out what that workbook page is without looking at your Google Classroom. Yes. Okay, so now last week we worked with subjects in a sentence, and of course the subject is who or what the sentence is about. Today you're working with predicates. That's the second part of the sentence. So it says every sentence has 2 parts. Every sentence has a predicate. Last week we learned about a subject. The predicate of a sentence tells what the subject does or is, okay? So to have a complete sentence, we have to have a subject plus a predicate, okay? Now it says match each group of words in the first column with its predicate in the second column. So they're considering this is the first column. Here's all your subjects. Here's all your predicates, and you're just going to match. All right, and then write the predicate. So ice and snow, and actually what we can do is you're just completing the sentence. Ice and snow stay below freezing, float in the sea, like to see Antarctica, grow in Antarctica. That makes sense. Cover Antarctica makes more sense. Now, Antarctica is the continent or the place in the country, in the world rather, the continent where we have the most glaciers, ice, snow. Those are on our polar caps of the planet. So ice and snow blows across the land. Probably snow blows across the land. I'm not sure about ice. Ice and snow live in the cold. That doesn't make sense. Ice and snow is millions of years old. So I'm going to go with ice and snow cover Antarctica. And yes, you do need to rewrite the whole thing, making sure that you're using a capital letter and neat handwriting. Now, also, you're going to have to use small handwriting because I don't write terribly big and I'm already running out of space. Antarctica is a continent, so we capitalize the A in that. Okay, that's a proper noun, and make sure you put your period. You will do the rest below. I've already read all of these. I'll read the subjects for you. The ice, temperatures, cold wind, giant icebergs, seals and penguins, few plants, tourists. Think about seals and penguins and their adaptations, you guys. Okay, so now we are done with language arts. For science, you are in your interactive study guide. I need to put this in the mail for one of you guys that emailed me, but I did go ahead and put the picture up on Google Classroom as well. So you have that there. And I believe you're working on 30 and 31. Let me just check really quickly. Let's see. Yes, you're working on 30 and 31. So you're studying one of the biomes from last week. On Wednesday, you had such a cool assignment, which was you were allowed to pick one of the 3 different kinds of biomes, and you were able to draw a picture of that biome. So I would love to see the pictures of the biomes that you drew. You either drew a grassland, a desert, or a tundra. Now, there is another biome, and it is the wetlands. So you're going to be reading about the wetlands today. And remember that these very easily, you can find your answers to your questions. If you don't have the book, then you should just be writing out what your answers are in your science notebook, okay? So it says, what is a wetland? A wetland is a blank area. And of course, probably if I come over here, or if I go right to the section that says wetlands, I'll find it. Look, a wetland is a low area. It's right there for me. So I'm actually going to highlight that sentence, okay? Just to prove where I found my answer. That's my evidence. A wetland is a low area. All right, so you guys will work on the rest. Of course, you're going to match your animals to each kind of adaptation. Yes. And you guys saw my video of the sea otters last week. Okay, so hopefully you enjoy that. I think that's super fun. Last assignment is your social studies. We are continuing our unit on voting because that's actually happening in real life soon. You are going to work on page 91. We have really talked so much about how to be a good citizen. So I'm confident when we come out of this unit that we're going to have a lot of ideas. So you're going to be reading about your heading under your subheading, being a good citizen, and then being a good citizen in the classroom, even though we're not in the classroom, maybe being a good citizen in the Zoom classroom. How could you do that? You are going to be reading about volunteering and probably paying taxes. And then I want you to answer your 2 questions over here. If you want to, you can draw an arrow and answer your summary question just over here. Okay? It says list ways volunteers are different from other workers. Underline details in the text to tell more about being a good citizen in the classroom. Being a good citizen is important. Name some ways you can show you are a good citizen and just put that over there. All right, you guys, don't forget to fill in I'm way behind, but I'm going to come through and I'm going to fill in, even if I can't remember what I did on these past days, because I think we're all the way on the 24th, so I've missed a whole week. But I can easily go back and I can think about some things that I did each one of these days. Yesterday, I spent time with family. Saturday, I went to the river. Friday night, I had a nice dinner. Okay? And so I can't really think about it from the previous weeks. That's why we got to try to remember to keep up with it day to day. But I could remember my last 3 days. Maybe some of you can also remember Thursday because we were out of school that day, or you guys were. I was in a training. So actually, I'm going to write my training on Wednesday went well. Training went well. We had a really good training. Okay? All right, you guys, so I'll see you at our Zoom, okay? Have a great day. I'm not sure about getting outside. The air quality is not that great today. The temperature won't be bad, but the air quality is. So make sure you find something to do to help your families around the house. And be kind to your brothers and sisters, guys. I'll see you at our Zoom. Bye.